Meanwhile, President Obama endorsed Hillary Clinton earlier today as the Democratic presidential nominee, with federal agents under his jurisdiction investigating Clinton. Does an endorsement cause a conflict of interest? Here to answer, it's Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst. He is in our nation's capital. How are you, Judge?
Well, I'm in the belly of the beast, but I'm better than I'm now on with you, Kennedy.
All right, well, let's discuss this. Let's discuss that conflict of interest. I mean, he's got two of his appointees who are in charge of investigating and possibly charging Hillary Clinton, and he's come out and endorsed her. It seems like, you know, what he's saying to these people is, hey, you have to take care of her, you have to shield her, because this is the person that I want to run and on my legacy and become the next president.
It's certainly a fair reading of the message that he sent today with his endorsement, which we know was taped 2 days ago but released earlier today. And it is a conflict. So you have his two most important, most high-profile appointments in the law enforcement area, Attorney General Loretta Lynch and FBI Director James Comey. Attorney General Lynch's term ends when his term ends. Director Comey's term goes for another 10 years. But these are the two most important people in law enforcement. Under them have been working more than 100 FBI agents, lawyers, investigators, researchers, clerks, the type of team that it takes to put together to investigate two criminal allegations against Mrs. Clinton. One, espionage, the failure to maintain secure the state secrets. That's the so-called email scandal. The other, public corruption, the allegation that she made decisions while she was Secretary of State to benefit foreign persons and foreign entities, which then made substantial, in some cases 7 figures, contributions to her husband's so-called charitable foundation.
Yeah.
Now, how do FBI agents in the field feel about this? They're not happy, because it's almost as if their boss is saying, I'm not going to endorse someone that I think is going to be indicted, so your work is going to have to be put aside, or I'm going to recuse myself from this and let somebody else decide whether or not she should be indicted,
yeah.
Or perhaps it's time to invoke the independent counsel statute, which permits the Attorney General herself to appoint a lawyer independent of the Justice Department, of the FBI, of the White House, of the Congress, with his or her own budget and own team and own FBI agents to investigate these cases, and if so, to bring evidence to a grand jury, and if indictments are found, to prosecute. It's hard to say where this is going to go, but it adds another very uncomfortable wrinkle to a very serious series of investigations involving national security and public corruption.
Yeah, and it's so unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this. We've never seen a criminal investigation, at least in our lifetimes, of someone who is not only running for president, they are the presumptive nominee of their party, and it happens to be the party of a sitting president. And it makes you wonder how she can stand up there and say to Bret Baier, there's absolutely no possibility of an indictment unless she knows that from the president who's just endorsed her.
I don't know that she could know that without there being some obstruction of justice. I mean, even the president could commit obstruction of justice if he stopped an investigation prematurely for political reasons. I watched the tape with Bret. I've discussed it with Bret and with his team. It's one of the reasons I'm down here today. They and I are of the view that this was just fluff that she was putting out there, that in fact she's quite worried about this, and the reason she's worried is twofold. One, while Loretta Lynch may be a political appointee, Director Comey is the most serious, straight-arrow director of the FBI we've ever had.
Yeah.
Two, the same team that is investigating her for the email scandal is the team that investigated and prosecuted General Petraeus, and they believe General Petraeus got off far too easily. And three, I said there were 2 reasons, there are 3. The third reason is the evidence of her guilt, the publicly available evidence of her guilt, Kennedy, never mind what the FBI knows that they haven't revealed, the publicly available evidence of Mrs. Clinton's guilt is truly overwhelming. It is enough to indict, and it is enough to convict. And if that is not brought before a grand jury and then a trial jury simply because of her political position in contemporary American politics, then there is no rule of law any longer in the United States.
No, you're absolutely right. Then we turn into Brazil and North Korea, and it is an abomination and a total miscarriage of justice. So eloquently put. Thank you so much, Judge. I appreciate your words.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks again.